Welcome back to What Arty Noobs with General Disturbance. This is the Conqueror Gun Carriage. It's the Tier 10 British SPG. This one's located on the south sport of Prokhorovka, and it's under the command of 73north of WTWW. And unfortunately, we don't know what his equipment is on this one, but I'm sure he'll be happy to tell anyone who wants to know.
Let's go.
Game on. Well, I think you can see he's got 2 marks of excellence on the barrel, and it says the old firm on the side. Now he's working on his third one at the moment, third mark, so we should see something very shortly. Now he does have some marks of achievement as well, showing he actually does like this Arty. He's doing rather well with it. It is a fake tank, of course, as you all know. They never actually built an Arty based on the Conqueror tank, but it would have been a nice thought if they actually had. He's loaded, he's ready to go. Standard reload 44.1 seconds. His reload is 34.98. As it shows there, it's a 9.2 inch howitzer, and that equates to a 233.7 millimeter. Direct hit with the first shot. Hits the top of the IS-7. Was it? No, it actually landed not on the top, on the front left or front right track. From our perspective, it's the front left track. Oh! He's gone very quickly, and that's an awful lot of stun assists straight off the mark. 2,064 from just one tank who got absolutely plastered and wiped out. He just went too far forward and couldn't pull back once he was tracked. Okay, we're loaded again, ready to go. Now he's looking in the distance at this fence here. Nobody's knocked it down, but if you notice behind, the fence has been knocked down, so I think there is somebody up there. Rounds up. That's gonna wake him up. Whoever went up there is in a tank destroyer. Probably a Foch 155, but it could have been the Heshbon or the Gorilla 15. Has probably got a lot of loss of damage there. Always look for things like that. If you see a fence knocked down in a specific place, it's very likely that they were actually in the nest, in the spot, and therefore, you know, you see that break in the fences there, good indication that something was there. I mean, it was there, but it might have gone away. We've got a shot at the mouse or the IS-7. I go for the mouse. Lands it short. But he does get some stun. Well, no, he does get some... Well, he got some stun, but he hasn't got any stun assists yet. You notice how he's not staying in the same position as well. Most people go for a spot between the trees, which is very well known. But the problem with it being very well known is that there are people further up the west side of the map who know where to place the shell in order to hit that specific spot. And so it can actually be quite detrimental to be sitting in that spot at any time because, yes, you might get hit by a shell. Now, we saw the mouse was still stunned, but he did get a tiny bit of stun assist. Only 79 hit points. Probably indicates whoever was hitting the mouse did so with an HE round. Okay, 2.5 seconds is the time it takes for the shell to reach that spot. Rounds up. Right in the bush again. If somebody is in there right now, they're probably really annoyed because they just got stunned all over again. And of course it makes them ineffective for a couple of seconds. Well, 10 seconds, 20 seconds. And look at that, the mouse has gone down, so somebody got him. Our 60 TP actually. We're only seconds away from shooting again. Ready to go. Now that was a guess, but it's a reasonable one because that's the spot that the IS-7 was moving forward to take his shots up at the hill. And their Heshbon has suddenly been spotted. He hasn't lost any hit points. Well, he has now. He's out the game, which means it wasn't the Heshbon that was sitting up in the bush. We would have seen some loss of hit points. Oh, and now we get a clue as to where the enemy Arty is. They've got two of them, both Object 261s. One of them's been now located. Unfortunately, we don't get anything off that shot as well because our Gorilla 15 was just too quick on the mark. So we know that they're actually in the tree line at the back on the west side, probably in A1. E100? Two E100s. Oh, that was a big hit there. Would have been nice to get the shot on that one, but he's going to stun both of them. And he has. And he gets damage off both as well. Now the front E100 has actually got rid of his stun very quickly, but the rear one didn't appear to. So that means he stands a chance of getting some assist off that one if he comes spotting again. We just located one of the 261s. He is behind that fir tree at the back. Not the little one, the big one, and slightly over to the right. That's his location. We just saw the tracer coming out from that spot. Okay, there they are again. He won't be able to get rid of his stun so quickly this time.
That was close.
And in fact, they're keeping the stun. He's now getting stun assist. And lots of it too. One sure way to get a nice ace tanker is to have loads of assists in the game. And yep, that Arty is just fired again. And it looks like he's firing up at the hill. You could see the tracer was going very high. Now you also notice 73 North is not bothering to go after the 261. And the reason for that is that there's no need to actually disturb the enemy Arty unless you actually know precisely where he is. There's another one. Because if you do go after the enemy Arty, they're only going to try and go after you. And that's just going to make them trying to counter.
Moving to support you.
And we just saw one of their Foch 155s moving. Now he's lost hit points, that one. So it could be the Foch 155 was in the sniper's nest. Lots of people have been saying, why don't you counter battery if you can see the tracer? Well, it's much better to go after the tanks rather than the Arty, unless you actually know where the Arty is precisely. And you can see a tree going down there at the back. That might be one of the Artys. Could be. Our guys are moving north. It's got as high as the halfway point. Oh, and we just lost our M5Y to one of their Objects 261s. Yeah, somebody in Russian is saying IS-7. There's a lot of Russians playing on the EU server now. Far more than on their own. I think that's because, of course, it's now becoming very boring for them on their own server. That's a direct hit. And it is the Gorilla 15. And now he's picking up stun assist off that one. And there goes the guy, and he's out. The Object 261 relocated over to the railway line, which means that the other one at the back here must... Oh, tree goes down. Again, there's somebody up there, and that could be the other Object 261. Yes, when you see a tree go down like that, it's normally a dummy, because obviously when the tree falls in the opposite direction, it's not used for cover. It's used to try and confuse you. It's not the 261, just fired straight across our gap at our guys coming down from the hill. So it is one of the heavy tanks, actually. We've got two heavy tanks in that area. The E900 and a 60 TP, as far as we know. There's the E900. Lines up, rounds out, and we'll get some stun. Oh, we got a direct hit. 344. But he's still very healthy, that guy. Our guys are holding back, and basically the FE4005 and the Gorilla should push forward at this point, because there's every chance that they're going to get the E900. Meanwhile, the 121's going after the Object 261. He's found him, and he's not going to let go. But both Artys are firing at the 121B. We think the E900 is still there, but we can't be certain yet. Our guys are now moving, so they finally realised this game is almost over. That E900 and the 60 TP plus the Arty are on this side. And there's the Object 261. He's spotted and slotted. And now the E900 rounds out. This should stun them. Okay, there's one of them. So all we need now is for our teammates to finish them off whilst they're still stunned. There he is again. That's 60. Oh, it's not a 60 TP. They've only got the two E900s left on their team. So the 60 TP must have been taken out somewhere. And there's the shell. Goes in. Direct hit on the E900. Somebody also got a direct hit there. I think that was our Object 261. Only their Object 261 next to the railway line still alive, and he's just gone. Which means now it's just the two E900s over here. Both of them are platooned, working together. And there's the other one. Okay, he's got more hit points. And that's stunned. Will we get any more stun assist? I don't think so, because he didn't have much stun with that last shot, and he went down to 253. There's one gone, and that's just the other one remaining. Oh, he's gone down as well, and that's the end of the game. Here's the end of battle stats, and that was an ace tanker game for 73north of WTWW in the Conqueror Gun Carriage. Another ace tanker to his tally. He's got loads of them already. He also managed to get a Bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. In fact, he got 13, and he got a Confederate medal as well for hitting more of the enemy than anyone else on his team. His win rate from that one was 2,266, which is very good. Let's have a look at team score. Didn't get the highest damage in the game. The 121B on our team, who didn't survive, but he got 5,253 hit points of damage out of that game. Second highest was the E900, or at least one of them on the enemy team, with 4,557. And the third highest damage was the Gorilla 15 on the enemy team, with 3,903. We can see that 73north got 2,951. He was beaten by 3 players on the enemy team, 3 players on his own. He's in 7th when it came to damage. When it came to kills, though, we can see he didn't get any at all. But the top scorers were the Gorilla 15 and the Heshbarn on our team with 3 kills apiece. 2 kills went to the Object 780, the T57 Heavy and the 60 TP. And on the enemy team, their Gorilla 15, their Object 261s, both got 2 kills apiece. When it came to base XP, it was 73north, yeah, 1,107. He got the highest. The second highest was the 121B, 1,097. And third place goes to the 780, who got 1,049. Only those top three managed to get more than 1,000 base. He fired 15 rounds in the game, got 4 direct hits on the enemy and 0 penetrations, 20 splash, damage of 2,951, all of it at more than 300 meters. Damage 7 of the enemy, didn't get any kills, and that gave him the Confederate, and 5,855 hit points of stun assist of 20 stuns. So combined damage is actually closer to 9k. Yes, actually 9k, getting close to it anyway. And he actually picked up on a free-to-play account 24,277 credits profit, 7 bonds for this being tier 10, and 1,107 base XP because there was no multiplier in there at all. So a very good game. Again, he's high performing because he's what he's doing is he's actually getting a lot of stun assist, even though he doesn't pick up a huge amount of damage, a lot of stun assist, and he's doing that by placing the shells so he can actually get 2 tanks with 1 shot if he could, and he was doing those E-100s at the same time, so they were both stunned, maximizing his potential. So that's the first game. We've got another one for you. So let's go straight to that one and see how he gets on in that. The second game is on the Mines map.
Your assistance has been requested.
And we're about to start.
On the road.
Game on. Well, the other Arty is an Object 261. It looks like we're going for the corner. The enemy's getting an early TVP T5051 out across the South Island. Oh, that's interesting. Our AMX 30B's just crossed the gap there, and he's going to need help very shortly. Yep, the Object 261 has already started. Well, it appears that the enemy's got the hill at the moment, but if that Death Star moves any further forward, he's going to get stunned, slows him down, and he's now taking damage. And we just saw Arty coming in. Ouch! That was a T92 HMC hitting us for 404. I'm afraid this position is very obvious. That's why I tend to avoid it and try to go for Nigel's spot, which of course, as you know, is in C1. It may be a bit exposed, but it's less easy for the enemy to actually put shells in there. Plus, of course, you get the chance to shoot at the enemy tanks that are trying to make it across the gap into the hill. Okay, so the enemy RT is in this area. We don't know where precisely. We planted a shell in. Now we need to change position. The best thing to do, yep, so to move across, get behind that building, or put the building between us and the guys in the grounds of the castle. If the enemy does try to counter battery, they're going to miss. In fact, they've gone for the Object 261. The enemy's got a GW E-100 and a T92 HMC. We're only seconds away from shooting. Now we can see that the washing is on the floor, so somebody is in that spot. Rounds up. Fell short. Again, changing position. He's right at the back of the map. We lost that AMX 30B who went to the South Island. And now they've got an Object 277 coming along the middle island towards us. And there's STB-1 holding them back. We're still trying to do counter battery. Again, it's one of the reasons why I wouldn't do counter battery these days. But yes, he got the T92, so he got revenge. That guy's out the game. Yes, when there's so many tanks available, it does make sense to actually go for the tanks because they're guaranteed targets if they're in sight. If you have got spare shells and spare time, then of course you can do counter battery because you can work out where the enemy is. But when the enemy's got loads of tanks, then it's easier to go after them. Now he's actually gone back to doing counter battery again. And there he is, just on that spot there. I'd go for it. Rounds out. We didn't get in on this occasion, but I think he probably would have damaged the guy. Now remember, it's a GWE900. It's fairly slow in moving about. We're getting a request for the STB-1. Somebody, he needs help on that Object 277. Almost ready to shoot. He's waiting for the tracer. There he is. It's on the corner. Let it settle and go. And he got him. So no counter battery anymore, but he does have a dire need to help his teammates. Specifically the one on the middle island. The STB-1 is down to a quarter of his health. So's the Object 277. No enemy in sight there. In fact, there are two. I think there's two enemy tanks behind that rock now. We're going for the Rhinocerente. That landed right in front of him for 384 and tracked him. And we didn't get anything from the Super Conqueror. We've lost the STB-1 as well, which means now the enemy's got the Object 277 and a Gorilla 15 on the middle island. And in fact, the Gorilla 15's moving up. It's going for the E900. Nope, missed it. Well, at least we're getting stun assist, because that E900 got stunned the moment he went past, and now their Rhinocerente's joined him. So we can hit two tanks with one shot here, but we're not going to be loaded for a moment. The Gorilla 15 did get wiped out, so he's out the game. But we're going for these two. Rounds out. Direct hit on the E900. The Object 261 just hit him, and he goes down. So we picked up 454 hit points of stun assist there. So we've got way loads of stun assist in this game as well. Could be another ace tanker. But the problem is that, well, we're one up on the enemy, but they've got way more hit points than we've got. And our can opener's just got very badly mauled by that Death Star. Oh, it's not the Death Star actually, it's the British heavy tank, the FV215B. Yes, and it looks like our can opener got wiped out by their T-123 inside the castle grounds. He's still going for the FV215B. IS-7 will probably make an easier target, but he's full health. The FV215B is, well, he's not a one-shot, but if we did get a pen on him, yes, he would be. Rounds out. Direct hit, 286. That gives the 900 a chance. Although, yeah, I was expecting that, and the IS-7 was going to come around the corner and try and nuke him. And that means now there's only 3 left on our team. It's the Object 261, us, and an FB215B. There's the 215B, and he's about to be mobbed. Yeah, we fire the round in. Well, we stunned a lot of them, but now we're on the receiving end because we're the next one to go. Getting in behind cover. He'll try and hit the first one who comes around that corner and get as much damage as he can before he goes down. I didn't mention it at the start of the game, but these shells are capable of 1000 alpha and 59mm of pen with 11.6 meters on the burst radius. You're actually better off with the non-stun HE under these circumstances. We've got 1300 and we get wiped out by the IS-7 very quickly. Well, he got some damage as well and he goes down, and I'm afraid that is the end of the game. Well, the game may have been a loss, but look at that. He did get his third mark of excellence out of it. He also got a counter battery fire medal for taking out both enemy SPGs, the T92, and then he took out the GWE-100. And he got a bruiser medal as well for getting at least 5 critical hits. In fact, he got 12, and his win rate was 2,309, which is very good. But sadly, I'm afraid it was a defeat for the team. We can see that the highest damage in the game was the E3 on the enemy team. Got a high caliber and 7,449 hit points. Second place was the Wizzy 113 GFT, who got 4,433, followed by their IS-7 with 4,352. We can see that 73north only got 2,487 hit points of damage, but he got beaten by only 4 members of the enemy team and 4 members of his own team, which places him 9th on damage. When it came to kills, though, he actually got joint third, because you can see the IS-7 got 4 kills, the E3 managed to get 3, and so did the Wizzy 113 GFT. And then in third place, we got the TVP T5051 and the Gorilla 15 getting 2. And there is 73north with 2 kills alongside the Progetto 65. When it came to base XP, it's the enemy team. The E3 got 1,227. Then their IS-7 got 1,076. And the third one was the 113 GFT, who got 1,020. They were the only ones who managed to get over 1,000 base in the game. And 73north got 521. He fired 12 rounds in the game, got 2 direct hits on the enemy, no penetrations, but 14 splash. 2,487 hit points of damage, all of it at more than 300 meters. Received 2 hits from the enemy, both of them hit, well, one was from the T92, the other was from the IS-7. 9 enemy vehicles damaged, 2 killed, and 4,804 hit points of stun assist off 12 stuns. That's the ace tanker. So, at least it was an ace tanker, wasn't it? Just check that. No, it wasn't actually. He didn't get a mastery at all out of that one, even though he did get a large amount of stun assist. So, he did get a profit of 9,616 credits from the game, and he got 5 bonds for this being tier 10. And he got 781 experience points out of it as well. But the best thing is he's got his third mark on the barrel, and that can never be taken away. He's got that for good now. So well done there to 73north. Sorry you had to wait a little while for this replay to come through. I know you sent it in around about the 21st of January. We've had a lot of replays in the recent past, and I've actually unfortunately had a problem with my computer just tonight, actually, funnily enough, whereby I lost all of the replays that were lined up, ready to go, and I hadn't taken notice of all the URLs, and I've lost most of them, but I can, from memory, know which ones are going in which order. So I'm at this moment desperately trying to get them done. But if your replay is a little delayed, it could be because my browser shut down and then it installed the new version of the browser. And when it shut down, it didn't actually give me all those open pages back again. And I think there was about 25 to 30 pages open at that moment. I think it just gave up the ghost and decided to shut down. And so now I'm working from memory. And of course, all the replays have been submitted to the email address, as well as the ones that are actually on the Facebook page as well. So I've got to try and remember them one by one and go through them. I do keep an Excel sheet, which normally has all of these replays stored on them, but there was a few just recently where I had a whole bunch of replays sent in at the same time. And it's very difficult when those ones come in a huge batch to remember which ones were which. But I'll get through them anyway, eventually. Hope you enjoyed those replays. Congratulations to 73north for getting his 3rd mark of excellence. And you can also see that he did take a lot of time whilst he was doing the counter battery. And yes, he did get both enemy SPGs. But I wonder actually if he would have won the game if he'd actually been shooting at the enemy tanks rather than shooting at his enemy Arty or his opponents. There you go. That's something to think about. If you enjoyed that replay, please give it a like. Do subscribe to our channel. Leave a little comment down below because it feeds the algorithm. And thank you for watching.